Good morning, all. So, uh, Today we'll start with what I told earlier about absolute zero scale of temperature, absolute zero and absolute scale of temperature, and we'll try to derive Charles' law again, but this time with the temperature scale in absolute zero. The last time was small t, that is degree Celsius. So now, what happens when we uh, derive Charles' law or when we use Charles's law for the fall of temperature? Until now, we just have used Charles' law for the increase in temperature or the rise in temperature, what happens to the volume, how the volume increases. But since we know volume and temperature are directly proportional, so for the fall of temperature, volume also decreases. So how does it decrease? Let us see. So first we have to assume some of the constant, that is, let the volume of fixed mass of a gas, mass is constant at 0 degree be V0. We've been assuming this V0 since long. Now we know what the Charles law equation is. Charles law equation is V is equals to V0 times 1 plus T by 273. This is the standard equation of Charles's law. Now for this Charles's law, we will write this t to be negative. Now the t will decrease, it will not increase. T will not be some 5 degrees, 6 degree. Now t will be negative. Now what kind of negative? Now we are considering 273 degrees. This is why this specific number, because we have certain specifics relating to this 273 degrees Celsius. Instead of this, we can start off with say minus 2 degrees Celsius, minus 3 degrees Celsius, but it will take a long time to uh, give you those examples. Instead, I'm directly going to the specific of this particular temperature, which is minus 273 degree centigrade fall in temperature. So now what we are doing is we are decreasing the temperature and we are trying to study the effect of decrease in temperature in the volume. We know the volume decreases. Okay, so how does it decrease? Let's see. Now equation, Charles law equation becomes, you have to just replace this t with minus 273. I have replaced this t with minus in 273. Now, after simplification, what I get is minus into plus is a minus 273 by 273. This remains the same. Now, next, if I cut this 273 into 273 one times equals to 273. So, 273 times 1 equals 273. So, 1 minus 1 will become 0. So, this is a very absurd and interesting thing that we just obtained here. So the Charles law equation says if you decrease the temperature to minus and 273 degrees Celsius, because initially our temperature is 0 degrees Celsius, now we are decreasing how many? Minus and 273. So 0 minus 273 is minus 273. So at minus 273 degrees Celsius, the volume of any gas becomes zero. There will be no existence of volume. That's what Charles' law is telling us. Okay? But in reality, does it really happen? Just think about yourself. Can the volume be zero? Where will all the atoms go? Where will all the molecules go? Can they be destroyed? Yes, they cannot be. So what really happens is when you decrease the temperature, another factor of change of state comes into play, which is when you decrease temperature to this lower temperature, all the gases will liquefy. From gas to liquid form, they will be changing their state instead of staying in the gas form. If they stay in the gas form, their volume should become zero. That's what Charles' law says. But in practical sense, the gases become liquid, and Charles' law no longer applies to liquids. Right? This is for gas. So therefore, but theoretically, what it says is at minus 273 degrees Celsius, the volume becomes zero, and this is the reason why this particular temperature of minus 273 degrees Celsius is known as absolute zero temperature. Do you get it now? So absolute zero temperature is basically an extension of Charles' law, right? So remember, the pressure is constant here. We have not changed the pressure. This is the condition of Charles' law. So at constant pressure, the temperature, that is minus 273 degrees Celsius, at which theoretically the volume of the gas would be zero, is known as absolute zero, right? So at minus 273, volume of fixed mass of gas becomes zero, and this temperature is called absolute zero temperature. Now you'll have to write the definition of absolute zero. It's there in your book, right? It's plain and simple. And also absolute scale of temperature. Now what is absolute scale of temperature? Scale of temperature, until now we've been using say degree Celsius and degree Fahrenheit. These are scale of temperature. These are the temperature units. Okay. So now we devise not we, actually Kelvin did this. Kelvin devised a new scale of temperature whose uh, graduation, that is whose increase or decrease in temperature is equal to the uh, Celsius scale. That is 1 degree Celsius scale is equals to 1 degree increase or decrease in Celsius scale equals to 1 degree increase or decrease in absolute scale. So the graduation, that is the increase or decrease, is the same. But the starting point of absolute scale of temperature, okay, is absolute zero temperature. So they have taken minus 273 degrees Celsius to be the zero of this absolute scale of temperature. Alright. So what they did is they have taken this minus 273 degrees Celsius. So they have taken minus 273 degrees Celsius, this temperature, to be equal to zero of their temperature. So they are starting their zero with minus 273 degrees Celsius. Now for every increase, 1 degree increase in temperature, degree Celsius, the increase is same for zero, this absolute scale of temperature. Alright. Now the relation between uh, absolute scale of temperature and your Celsius, we all know, pretty simple, right? So remember this relation between temperature in degrees Celsius and temperature in Kelvin. Now we will use this relation to derive Charles' law in terms of absolute scale of temperature, Kelvin scale of temperature. Alright. Until now, Charles' law, the small t is always degree Celsius. Remember, when you deal gases chapter, small t means degree Celsius and capital T means Kelvin or absolute scale of temperature. Alright. Now we will see Charles' law in absolute scale. So that the first thing we are taking is T1 degree rise in temperature, volume of fixed mass of gas will be, we know this is our Charles law, so volume will be V0 1 plus T1 by 273 for T1 degree rise in temperature, right? So if I take the LCM here, it becomes 273 comes to the denominator, 1 into 273 times is 273, so 273 into 1 is 273 here again. So it is 273 plus T1. I know you how to do the LCM. It's pretty simple, you know it. Now this particular 273 plus T1, you see 273 plus T1, 273 plus T is your temperature in Kelvin scale, yes. So this capital T1 is temperature in Kelvin scale. So now our Charles law in absolute scale becomes V1 is equals to V0 times T1 by 273, T being in Kelvin scale. Similarly for T2 rise in temperature, you will get volume to be this. Let's term this equation 1. We'll be needing it later on. But I don't want to write it again and again. So now I divide this uh, V1 by V2. So what I get is V0 gets cancelled. T1 by 273 is divided by T2 by 273. When we rearrange this thing, what we get is T1 by 273 times 273 by T2. So 273 and 273 gets cancelled. Ultimately, what we get is V1 by V2 is equals to T1 by T2. So you can leave it like this, but I have a tendency to keep one in like V1 T1 one side and V2 T2 the other side. So what we are getting is V1 by T1 is equals to V2 by T2. This is also very important uh, relation for Charles's law. Okay, and we solve a lot of numerical problems using this Charles law equation. Okay, so in the previous class I had given you two numerical problems. The second numerical problem was to be done using this particular formula, but I asked you to do using this formula, which is okay. Okay, but this is much more simpler because here you don't have to do all this kind of simplification. This is a simplified formula, right? So now what we do is from this equation, that is equation 1, okay, let's remove this annotations, that is T2, V2 and all that. So V in general is equals to T times V0 by 273. I've taken T2 in place of V0 and I've put V0 in place of T2 because it's multiplication, you can do that. Because this both V0 and 273 is a constant. So what we are getting is V is equals to T times constant. So V is equals to T times constant. Ringing the bells, right? So what kind of equation is this? Y is equals to M times X. Y is equals to Mx. C is not there. C is 0. Y is equals to Mx plus C. So this is Y is equals to Mx. We can remove this constant and write V is directly proportional to T. So now your job is to draw the V versus T graph. So V versus T graph. So remember V proportional to T or Y is equals to Mx. When C is 0, what kind of graph you should draw, you know that pretty well. So your work for this class is to draw the V versus T graph yourself. Okay. So we'll meet up again in our next lecture.